Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. So today I thought that I would do a little bit of a review actually on the channel of this little book here. I hope it's not too reflective. This book is called How to Stop Time and it's by Matt Haig. There's going to be a full written review on the blog by the time this goes up. So when this video goes live tomorrow, there will be, tomorrow being Monday, there will be a full review on the blog as well, which will be linked. You will also see that the blog has been relaunched, kind of re-looked at a little bit. And I think it's much nicer now than it was. It's more user-friendly and I hope you guys really like it. To start, this is a book that I actually just picked up in WH Smith. I'd seen it advertised on the tube. I have never read anything from Matt Haig before. Well, I never had before I read this book. And it was kind of one of those books that from the moment I picked it up, I loved it. I was intrigued by it because it's really doesn't go into much detail. Like on the back, the write-up is really short and it's just about, it literally says this: I am old. That is the first thing to tell you, the thing you are least likely to believe. If you saw me, you would probably think I was about 40, but you would be very wrong. It is one of the best books I have ever read. I really like this book. And I really do think that I don't even know what you'd have to be interested in to read this book. I think it's really good. I think most people would enjoy this book. I think it's intriguing and it's really brings you into the human psyche from kind of outside, which is amazing. It's brilliant. It's very difficult to describe this book. Basically, it's about a man called Tom Hazard. He's old. He's really old. He's like, I think he's about 400 and something. He begins telling his story through the book and it's really interesting. He does comparisons. The way it's written, it's beautifully written. By the way, Matt Haig, you are a genius. Also, thank you for liking my Instagram post. He basically goes through his entire life in this book. But as he goes through his life, he compares it to now. So each chapter is sort of compared to its best. I don't know how to describe this. Each chapter is labelled by year and place. And there are all different chapters, like so he's got Sri Lanka 3 weeks ago, Los Angeles 2 weeks ago, which kind of sets you off and sets the tone. Then London now is kind of the main focus, so he's telling you his story right now as it happens. And then corresponding to what happened years ago, showing how similar things can be from like ages and ages ago, and how much things have changed but how little they've changed as well. So corresponding was London 1623. He describes his life through this format. It's brilliantly done. So it jumps around a lot and that can be a little confusing at the beginning, but it does tell the story so well. So you go from London now to London 1860 and it jumps around a lot, but it's always corresponding to the story he's telling now. And then really interestingly, Tom Hazard becomes a history teacher in London today. Today's London. And obviously he's been through all of that history, so really making it come alive through that. And there are, I mean, it's incredible. He talks about all the people he's met throughout, and it describes his mother. It's just one of those books that is very difficult to describe, and it's very difficult to talk about if you haven't read it. I mean, to someone who hasn't read it, it's very difficult to like explain, because it is just about a man who is very old and who is 400 and spends his whole life basically living in the shadows. And I don't want to give away the plot or anything, because it's really difficult, you know. Obviously it's really worth the read, and I really want to read Reasons to Stay Alive and The Humans. Those are also by Matt Haig. I'm really interested in reading those, and I will try and do so as soon as possible so that I can give a review on those as well. He is trying to find his daughter, who is like him, throughout this book, and it really is just such a good documentation of the human experience and how everything changes, but at the same time everything remains the same. How we have technology now, but we still fear the same things to one extent or another, and how really we haven't come that far, which is intriguing. I found this book really great to explore my own psyche as well, and my own thoughts and my own thought process and myself as a human. And you know, in essence, you only have, as a human, most of us only have about 80 years on this planet. I don't know what the exact average age is, but I'm guessing that's around somewhere near it. If you're lucky, you get 80 to 100 years on this planet to learn and to change things, if you can. And to leave your mark. And I think it really makes you question what leaving your mark really means, what we as humans really do achieve in our lifetimes, because we're really not around long enough for it to ever affect us. The decisions we make today will probably affect those who live 500 years after us, but we are never affected by those decisions. And so, how bothered are we really at those decisions and what they mean to us? Because at the time it can be a very snap decision, and you never know the effect that it will have later on. It's an intriguing book because in this book history just repeats itself over and over again in different formats, and that is genius, because I should say that is exactly how life is. And I think the greatest thing I learned from this book is that humans don't learn. We don't learn. And you can see it being replayed in politics right now. You can see it in the films. You can see it in everything, that we're just not learning. So we replay history, essentially, on it's like a very long movie. We just replay parts that we haven't learned from yet, and the question is, do we ever learn from them? This also leads me a little bit on to movies like Dunkirk, which has come out this year. Brilliant movie. You should definitely go and see it. I 100% recommend it. The reason that those are being made, Dunkirk was Second World War, and we've got another Winston Churchill movie coming out, and that's again Second World War. And that is a reflection of a repeat of history, basically. Exactly what is happening now. We on the brink of going into a third world war if we're not careful. And so I think that that is, again, art reflecting life, and art reflecting history, reflecting today, if you will. So definitely a worthwhile read from Matt Haig. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was brilliant. I really respect the man. What an amazing author. No wonder he's a #1 best-selling author. And I think he's one of those authors that right now a lot of people won't know his name, won't know the book. But definitely one worth reading, worth experiencing for yourself. And bear with it, because in the beginning it does jump around a lot and it is quite difficult to follow. But as you follow through on reading it all, it's not actually that long, at about 325 pages. As you follow through on reading it, it will become one of the best books, and you will... I sat on the train reading this often, and it was just one of those books that really keeps your mind churning over. So even when you close it and you're like, okay, I need to stop now, it's something that often will replay in your mind. So you'll get chapters that just replay in your mind, and you're like, oh, that's really interesting, that's really something to think on. And so I really like this book. I really recommend reading it. I think it was £13, very much worth it. And yeah, I would definitely recommend it. Just to finish off as well, this book doesn't only explore humans, it also explores the relationship between humans and animals as well a little bit. Goes into that. It goes into human-to-human relationships. It is just one of those books that is just brilliant. The light of the human experience versus the dark of the human experience, and how it all wraps around itself to bring together one life at the end of it, is brilliant. Really a worthwhile read. So yeah, I can definitely recommend this book, and that is my book recommendation for September. So definitely go out and get it. I don't know if there's a paperback version coming out. If there is, it'll probably be a bit cheaper. But I really like the hardcover. I love the artwork as well. It's beautiful. So yeah, that is my September read recommendation, if you will. I'm gonna start doing this on a monthly basis of a reading recommendation, because I think that that will be really fun. If you are interested in this book and a little bit more of an in-depth look at it, please just click through below to my blog. You will see it come up. And there will be a written review on this book as well. So if you are interested in finding out a little bit more, then click through there. I will also link you through to places like WH Smith and Waterstones, where you could buy the book if you are interested in purchasing it. And yeah, that is my book recommendation for September. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys have an excellent rest of your week. I will be doing some soul searching this week. So yeah, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your week. I hope that you have had an amazing weekend. Please note that all my videos will be going out on a Monday now instead of a Sunday. Sunday was just too rushy for me, so Monday is. I hope you guys have an amazing September. Here in England we are going into autumn, and it does feel very autumnal in the weather, so I really hope you guys have an awesome autumn. Wow. I hope you guys have a really good September as well. It's just the beginning, so let's go, let's handle this, and yeah, sending you guys lots and lots of love. If you did enjoy this video, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. If you would like to follow me on all my social media, that will be linked below. Lots and lots of love. Thank you so much for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, that kind of thing, all of that jazz. And yeah, definitely buy this book. I'm not being paid for this. Alright, lots of love. Bye!